Sword Art Online, Dark Forest, Chapter 9, Code Online.
Today is a big day, a huge day for Asuna and me. Today, we finally get to hold Yui in our arms here in the real world. We have been on the plane for 20 hours and 10 minutes. 2 more hours and we'll finally be in France. Asuna, Lifa, Klein, and I are so ready to get off this plane and meet up with the Lyoko warriors. When I thought I could not take it anymore, I heard the captain speak over the loudspeaker. "Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to touch down. If you could please fasten your seatbelts." Asuna was shaking so much that I had to help her buckle up. "We are so close to holding her in our arms, Kirito," Asuna said. "I know, Asu. I am so ready to have her with us here in this world, too." After getting our bags, we headed for the parking lot. Standing outside there was a slightly overweight man that had to be a gym teacher. He was holding a sign that had mine and Sugu's name on it. Standing next to him were 2 young kids. I would peg them about 18 or 17. The young man had shaggy brown hair and a slim build, and the girl next to him had short black hair and was also slim. I'm Kazuto Kirigaya, and this is my sister Suguha," I say as we walk up. "Oh, the 2 kendo kids from Japan. I am Jim, the gym teacher," he says. "See? I called that one. This is Auric Stern and Yumi Ishiyama. They are 2 of the martial artists in the expo," he adds. "Nice to meet you," I say, and shake each of their hands. "This is Asuna Yuki and Ryotaro Tishibui. They are our +1s. "Please, just call me Klein," Klein adds in. Everyone shakes hands and exchanges pleasantries. Then Jim ushers us to a van with the name Katic Academy on the side. Klein sits up front next to Jim and starts talking about stuff so that Asuna, Lifa, and I can talk to Auric and Yumi about why we are really here. "So your friend Jeremy can bring our daughter to the real world?" Asuna asks with a very skeptical look on her face. "Trust me, if anyone can do it, it's him. He turned Aelita from an AI into flesh and blood," Auric explains. "Yeah, he told me that in an email, but you can understand why we are so skeptical. This is our little girl, after all," I tell them. "Hold on, I'm confused. You both have called her your daughter. Is she an AI or something else?" Yumi asks with a confused look. "See, I told you should have told them before we came. I knew this was going to be confusing," Sugu says, tapping me on the shoulder. "Yes, she is an AI, but she is also our daughter. We adopted her in the game Sword Art Online," I explain. "More like she adopted us," Asuna adds. I then go into the very long story of how we met Yui and came to take care of her as our daughter. Once I was done, Auric and Yumi just looked at us with shock and awe. "Man, that is crazy. I thought fighting Xana was hard," Auric chuckles. "From what Jeremy tells me about your Xana, it's just as deadly as SAO was," I say.
Hey listeners, I'm glad you're enjoying what you're listening to. I'm Billy from Zero to Hero Podcast. I'll always be joined by Jim, and me and him are the Folk and Skull Podcasting. If you definitely like jumping down rabbit holes from week to week of anything that ranging from the old school Power Rangers 90s-esque nostalgia, or we could even be talking about moon landings. So, I know you're interested, so definitely after the show, come check us out. Zero to Hero Podcast.
Finally, after an hour of driving, we were all piled into Jeremy's room. Aelita, Jeremy, Auric, Yumi, Sugu, Asuna, Klein, and me, plus one other boy with spiky blonde and purple hair by the name of Odd. "Dude, I would love to just live in Lyoko. No school, no homework. Man, that would be sick," he says. "No, it wouldn't," Klein, Asuna, and I all snapped. Okay, let's meet Yui, Jeremy says. I pull out my old Nerve Gear helmet and hand it to him. He then plugs it into his computer tower. After a few seconds of Jeremy typing, an image forms of Yui standing there in her little girl form. Greetings, everyone. I am Yui Kirigaya, Yui says in curtsies. Hi there, I'm Alita, and I will be helping you cross from your world to Lyoko and then to the real world. It is very nice to meet you. I am so excited. Okay, so what's the plan here? I ask. So we will head to the factory after the expo is done for the day. Once there, we will hook up one of your atmospheres, and then I will send Alita, Yumi, and Auric to Lyoko. From there, I will have Alita transfer to your Alfheim Online. She will meet Yui at the location you told me about. Alita will take Yui back to Lyoko, and from there, I will bring them to the real world, Jeremy explains. That seems easy-ish, Klein chuckles and rubs the back of his head. Yeah, as long as Xana don't attack, Odd says, and then is pelted with pillows by his friends. Dude, why would you say that? Auric snapped. Yui starts to giggle. You all seem very nice and fun. I'm going to enjoy meeting you. Something's been bugging me. Just how did you get Kirito and Lifa invited to the Martial Arts Expo? Klein requests. Who and who? Odd asks. Sorry, it's mine and Sugu's gamer tags. After living in the game for 2 years, most of us know each other by our gamer names, I remark. I may have hacked the registry and added their names as Kendo artists, Jeremy says with a shy look on his face. That's our Einstein for you, Odd mutters. We are very grateful, I state. Speaking of that, we need to go practice our routine, big brother, Sugu adds in. Yeah, hey, could one of you show me to where that is? I ask. I love to see more of this amazing school, Asuna expresses. And I could go for some grub, Klein puts out there. Yumi and I were headed to the gym. We can take you guys, Auric says. I can show you the school, Alita suggests. Klein, let me show you where the cafeteria is, man, Odd says. Finally, at 7 p.m., the expo ended, and we all met up in the forest just outside of the school with Auric, Yumi, Alita, and Jeremy. They showed us to an old manhole that was in the middle of the woods. Okay, from here, we head to the factory, Jeremy explains. We all nod, and one by one head down the hole and into the sewer passage. Okay, looks like we're walking. We don't got the skateboards to get everyone there, Auric exclaimed. Everyone just nodded and started walking. So did Klein and Suguha stay with Odd? Auric asks. Yeah, and some girl named CJ, Asuna replies. Oh, she is one of us, Alita says. One of you? I ask. The Lyoko warriors. You guys also did not meet William or Sissy, Yumi tells us. We all go up a ladder after walking maybe a half an hour and up to a driveway of some kind of old factory. We head in, and after swinging down some ropes, we get to an old elevator. Jeremy opens a secret panel and types in a code on a touchpad. The doors screech and wrench open. The 6 of us pile in and ride it down one floor to a huge computer room. Asuna, me, and Jeremy get off here. Auric, Yumi, and Alita ride it down one more floor to the scanner room. Okay, so this is the main computer room. Where do you want me to plug into? I ask, and I pull my atmosphere out of my bag and Asuna follows suit. We both plug into the main computer, and a green light turns on both of our atmospheres. Okay, man, they're linked. Your turn. Jeremy starts typing, and I have never seen anyone type as fast as this dude did. And in seconds, he had a full schematic of the atmosphere pulled up on one of his screens. Okay, guys, I'm sending you to Lyoko now. After that, Kirito and Asuna, you guys log into ALO, okay? Jeremy asks. Asuna and I just nod and give him a forced smile. In the back of my mind, I was praying that this worked, that we could hold Yui here, in this world. Alright, here we go. Transfer, Yumi. Transfer, Auric. Transfer, Alita. Scanner, Yumi. Scanner, Auric. Scanner, Alita. Virtualization, Jeremy says and activates the scanners, sending them to Lyoko.
friends in a pub in the capital of Elfheim.
Hey man, are you into comics at all?
Yeah, man, like, way into them.
I was, but I just don't have the time for it anymore, with questing and all my duties IRL.
Hold up. Why don't you check out Nerds Through Comics?
Dude, this says Nerds Throw Comics, not Nerds Through Comics.
Yeah, it's a joke that two of the producers had and just ran with it.
Producers?
Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention that Nerds Through Comics is produced by Mark, the Red Cornish Ranger.
Okay, I know that name. Hold on, you said two producers.
Oh yeah, it's part of the Three Ranger Bros studio, run by Cosplay Dude 637, Mark the Red Cornish Ranger, and Tai Tiger.
Did you just say Tai Tiger in Cosplay Dude?
Yeah, yes, I did. And Mark the Red Cornish Ranger.
I love the stuff they do on their other channels. I didn't know they were part of this podcast studio.
That they are.
Okay, that's Nerds Through Comics, spelled THROW, right?
That's right, you can find it anywhere you get podcasts.
Thanks, man. I am so going to subscribe.
Discover Nerds Through Comics, produced by the amazing team behind the Three Ranger Bros studio. Cosplay Dude 637, Mark the Red Cornish Ranger, and Tai Tiger. Find it on all major podcast platforms. Go and follow now.
We must have stood in that computer room for hours, just waiting for Jeremy to say that she was on her way. However, what happened was far worse. Alita is transferring herself from the Skidbladner now. She should be in your world in just a little bit, Yui, Jeremy says into his headset. So, the Skidbladner is a ship of some kind that lets you travel through the net? Asuna asks. Yes, with it we've been able to go all over the world, and seeing as Alfheim is an online world, it made it even easier to get there, Jeremy explained. Mama? Papa? Help! Yui's shouts break through my cell phone speaker. What's wrong, princess? Is Alina not there? Jeremy starts frantically typing and looking over at me. I lost Alita's signal, he says. Yui, what's going on there? Asuna asks, gripping a hold of my phone. As soon as Miss Alita got here, we were attacked. By other players, I ask. No, Papa, by monsters. It's the Draugrs. The what now? Jeremy asks. The Draugr are fallen warriors that live again thanks to dark magic, Asuna explains. Jeremy, teleport us in there, Auric yells come over the computer speakers. Jeremy looks over at me and Asuna, but we were already putting on our headgear. Do you have Wi-Fi in here? I ask, and Jeremy nods. We are diving in, but if you want to send your friends in, do it, I state, and then Asuna and I slide down one of the walls till we are sitting on the floor. Link start! We yell and are transported into Alfheim Online. Once logged in, we appear in our cabin on floor 22 of Einkrad. We don't speak a word. Just let our wings form on our backs and head outside. Once outside, we take to the sky and fly at full speed to the teleport gate. Teleport to Yggdrasil! I shout, and we teleport to the capital city of Alfheim. Again, we take to the sky and head for an open land just outside the city to a small area that is next to a beautiful waterfall. It is Yui's favorite spot in all of Alfheim Online. The scene we find is almost like a bad zombie movie. Yui and Alita stand in the middle of a group of Draugrs. Yui holding one of Asuna's old rapiers trying to fight them off, and Alita shooting pink energy balls at them. Auric and Yumi were trying to fight their way from the outside in. Auric was wielding two swords, and Yumi had a fan in each hand. Without thinking, Asuna and I dropped down from the sky into the middle with the two girls. I quickly drew my swords and started attacking the Draugr. I can hear Asuna casting protection spells and healing spells. Then I spot a flash of silver, and now she has drawn her rapier and was attacking the Draugr also. After a few minutes, the Lyoko warriors had made it to the center. However, the Draugrs just kept coming and coming. The more we cut them down, the more they just popped up out of the ground. Dude, what is with these guys? Don't they ever stop? Oryx shouts. I thought this was a game. Shouldn't they run out of spawn points at some point? Yumi adds in. It's not that simple, I start to say, but is cut off by Yui. Papa, there is a boss-level monster coming. Yui turns into her pixie form and flies up to get a better view. Not that she needed to, because once I heard that dark, evil laugh, there was a blinding green light, and a man dressed all in green armor with a golden horned helmet on his head teleported in. Who is this joker? Oryx asks, as all the Draugr stop cold and look over to where the man was standing. They drop to their knees, bowing down to him. Loki, I ground out through my teeth. So nice to know you remember me, little fairy, Loki says with an evil smirk. Who you calling little? You're not much taller than us, Yumi says and rushes at Loki. No, don't! Asuna shouts, but it was way too late. Loki flicks his pinky finger and sends Yumi flying without even touching her. He is a god, I say and look over at Asuna. She nods at me. Jeremy, get your friends out of here. If they die in here, I don't know if they reappear in the scanner room, I shout into the sky. We can't just let you face this thing alone, Yumi cries out. You have to, Asuna says with a soft smile and a wink. We got this, she adds in. Please, take Yui with you guys, I say and turn to face Loki. I don't know why you're doing this, but I am not going to let you hurt my friends. I dash in and start to power up my swords, and once I'm in front of Loki, I let loose my best attack yet. Holy Starburst Stream! I let into Loki with a 120 hit combo. Whoa, that's fast. I can barely see him, Oryx says. Please, go, while he's keeping Loki busy. Yui, honey, we'll see you in the real world, Asuna says and powers up her sword. Angel wings form on her back, and she rushes in. Yuki, guide my blade. Mother's Rosaro! Asuna lays into Loki with an 11-hit combo. Mommy! Daddy! Yui yells as she lands and turns into her normal form. Let's go, kid, Oryx says, grabbing Yui's hand and pulling her away. You can't leave them like that. There's something they don't know about Loki, Yui protests as she is now picked up by Oryx. Jeremy, get us to the Skidblander, Aelita shouts, and the four of them vanish in a bright light, leaving Asuna and I to face this god. The two of us battled to the best of our abilities, but in the end we lost and were logged out of ALO. There was something that struck me as odd, though. During that fight, I felt like I had battled this man before, but I had only ever seen him in the forest. My eyes shot open and I took a deep breath, grabbing my chest as I sat up. Asuna does the same and looks over at me with a scared and terrified look on her face. Even though we can not die playing ALO as a survivor of the death game, any death is a terrifying reminder of our past lives in Eingrad. That was insane, I growl. How did he get us? I never saw his dagger move, Asuna asks. I shrug. I don't know, Asu, but I do know that we are going to have to be a lot stronger and study him a lot more before we can ever beat him. Oryx, you only have 5% health left. Get out of there. Yumi, you have to keep Aelita and Yui safe till I can start the transfer, Jeremy yelled, knocking me back to what was really going on. Asa and I ripped off our headgear and ran up to Jeremy's side. On the screen in front of him was a map of an ice land that must be in Lyoko. Oryx was battling some huge crab-like monsters, and Yui was using her fans to block laser blasts from what looked like blocks. Is there any way we can help them? Asuna asks. I could go down and transfer myself into Lyoko, or call the others, but we don't have time for that. And I need to be here to run the program to bring Yui to the real world, Jeremy explains. Okay, but is there any way you can get us to Lyoko so that we can help? I demand. I can't input you into the scanners, so I don't... Hold on. You told me you can transfer games with the atmosphere, Jeremy states and starts typing. Auric, watch out! Yes, that's brilliant, I state and set back down. Asuna quickly followed suit. Whoa, your guys' digital code is crazy amazing, Jeremy says, still typing like a madman. Okay, you two are all set, Jeremy shouts. I nod at him and slip my atmosphere on, as does Asuna. Link, start! We both yell. To be continued.
This story was a part of the Storytime with Cosplay Dude 637 playlist. Make sure you check out the playlist on the channel to find all the other storylines written and read to you by Cosplay Dude 637.
What you have just listened to is a product created by the Three Ranger Bros Studio.
Hosted by three cosplaying fathers who
happen to be massive geeks of all sorts of fandoms.
They are Mark, the Red Cornish Ranger,
Cosplay Dude 637,
and Tai Tiger.
The studio covers different types of YouTube videos, TikToks, podcasts, and live streams.
If you wish to find out who cosplays who, the YouTube channel, the TikTok accounts, and the podcasts, and all of the other social media platforms,
please go to the 3rangerbrostudios.com.